Hi guys, welcome to another day with Keyana Renee. I am going to be sharing with you my fertility journey. So my husband and I have been trying to conceive for, I would say, since 2016, honestly. It's kind of been up and down since then, but that's when we officially started to try to conceive. So I'm just gonna get right into it because we have now found another clinic that we're gonna be working with, and we're actually gonna do a, not consultation, but you know, when they, if you don't know, they go through this orientation type thing. Yeah, that's what, orientation. So we found another clinic here in Atlanta, and we're gonna be going there, doing another transfer hopefully in January. So starting from the beginning, we knew that we could get pregnant. We did not have an issue with that. We had no idea that we were gonna have any issues at all. So after we got married in 2016, we started right away. When I say started, I started tracking my cycle and things like that. For me, my cycle is very, very consistent. Like, I don't have missed periods or don't know when my cycle is gonna, I know exactly the day that my cycle is gonna come. Like, that's how consistent it is. I really didn't even have to track it, but I started using like ovulation kits and stuff like that, and it just was not working. Nothing was happening, and my husband was just like, oh, you know, you are doing too much. Like, you thinking about it too much, and that's why it's not happening. You need to just calm down and it'll happen. Me, I know my body, so I'm like, no, you know, but I didn't say anything to him. I kind of just like kept it at that, like, okay, you know, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt right now, but whatever. So I would say July of 2016, we had consistently been trying since February. Once July came, I was like, no, something's wrong. You know, I went to my OBGYN, and she was just like, oh, you know, you're young, how long have you been trying? And at that point I was honest with her, because I didn't know that, you know, they won't do anything if you haven't been trying for a year consistently. So like, yeah, you know, I told her how many months, and she was like, yeah, you know, don't worry about it. You know, it could be stress, it could be anything, like, you know, and if you're thinking about it consistently, you're probably stressing yourself out, so, you know, whatever. And so but I felt like she kind of just like blew me off, so I was like, all right. So then November of 2016, my husband's job moved us to Philly. So it was a whole new world for us. Like, we had never been there before. It was kind of new, but he did have family there, so that kind of helped a little bit. So we moved up there in November. We really wasn't trying at that point. Like, well, we weren't trying at all, because we did have to stay with family for a couple weeks until our apartment was ready. So we ended up moving our apartment, I think like the end of November of 2016. And then we we still didn't try, because at that point it was like the holidays. I was coming back to Atlanta. My sister had graduated college and everything, and Christmas, all that stuff. So I knew that I would be going back and forth. So it really was like, you know, whatever. So I don't even think that we tried again at all. Like try, I mean, obviously we were not trying, but not preventing, but we were trying. And then I ended up finding, I went online and started researching. Like, I'm just that type of person. Like, if I feel like something's not right or it's wrong, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I just always been like that. And so I just started researching stuff, and just IVF kept coming up, but I didn't really research IVF because I didn't know what it was. So then I got on YouTube, and I found like a lot of women who were going through the same thing that I was going through, and they were talking about IVF. So I was like, okay, let me just look into this. And then one girl that I watched was like, you know, your insurance could cover it, like all of it. So I was like, okay, let me look into it. Luckily, I was in a state that was mandatory, because we moved to Philly, but Jersey and Philly are like right there with each other. So we actually lived in Jersey when we moved, when we finally got our apartment. So, and my job was in Jersey. So I was like, okay, you know, so they did cover it. I had great insurance, but I didn't know what I had at the time. So I started going through the process. You know, when you first reach out to like a fertility doctor, sometimes you need referrals and all of that. But my insurance, I did not need any referral, I didn't need anything. I could just reach out to them and go. So I did that. I did all my testing. Everything came back normal. Like there was no issue, nothing. So that was a little frustrating because I'm like, okay, if there's nothing wrong, then, you know, why is it not happening? So he kind of went over, the doctor kind of went over everything with me, like, you know, I don't see anything. Like, I'm looking at your past medical records, you know, just looking at your uterus. Everything looks perfectly normal, like it should. At that time, I was 33, so it's like everything looked, no, I was 31. I just turned 34, so I was 31. And he was like, everything looks normal and everything like that. So he was like, you know, let's just get started. Like, what do you want to do? And he was like, you know, IVF, you have a 50% chance. This was the numbers he gave me, so I don't know if that's the numbers they give to everyone, but he gave me a 50% chance with IVF. He gave me a 20% chance with doing an IUI, and then he gave me a 10% chance to conceive on my own. Why it was like that with them having no diagnosis, I don't know. I didn't ask any questions because I was just like so over it at that point that I was just ready to just do something so I can get pregnant. So we started the process. I started like he gave me my medication list and everything like that. By this time it was December of 2018. And once I seen that medication list and he started going over everything, I was just overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God, like I didn't think it was gonna be like this. I just didn't know. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And then like the cost, like out of pocket at that point, it was just, because I hadn't met my deductible, I had nothing. So it was crazy. I mean, but it was doable because like I said, my insurance did cover IVF. But I was so overwhelmed. I was like, you know what? I called him like, I want to put a pause on it. Like, I want to start after the holidays. I don't want to be stressed going into this. It's not good. Like, can we just start in January? He was like, fine, you know, that's no problem. Just call me when you're ready. We'll go ahead and get you started. So I was like, okay. I should not have done that because in January, my insurance changed and they no longer cover IVF. I was not aware of that, did not know that was gonna happen. So I was like, okay, now I got to try to find another clinic because this clinic I could not afford out of pocket. Like, there was just no way. Like, they were ridiculously expensive. The doctor was amazing. I wish I could have stayed with that clinic because they were like very thorough. He was like top ranked, really high in the country. But I just could not afford to do it out of pocket. So I ended up finding a doctor or a clinic that we could go to that I could afford to continue, pay out of pocket. Still expensive, very, very, very expensive, but it was doable for me and my husband, and we wouldn't have to, you know, try to have family help and all that stuff like that. We were actually able to pay out of pocket. But it was 4 hours away. So it's like, you know, not only am I now paying this doctor, but now I have to try to find a doctor locally to do all of my blood work and everything like that, because obviously with IVF you're seeing your doctor, you're getting blood tests. Like for me it was like I can't remember if it, I know it was weekly, but I don't know if it was like more than once a week. I can't remember, but I couldn't go to drive 4 hours away and still work and take all that time. I just couldn't do that. So I had to pay a doctor to monitor me in my state and then travel 4 hours away to do whatever my doctor was gonna do. So we did that. Pretty much we got broke doing that. I mean, that drained our savings. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it was, and that put like a strain like on our marriage and everything, because like at this point we're just seeing our savings just, you know, and at that point we were trying to buy a house and everything. We kind of put that on hold. and everything, and it did not work. Like we did five cycles, 2 retrievals. So we did 5 transfers, 2 retrievals. If you have not gone through IVF, those retrievals, I mean, it's hard on your body. Like I did not know. I was so anxious to do it, but I didn't realize like how hard it was actually going to be, like on me physically, emotionally, mentally. It was just hard. And then I found out like right before I started that cycle, my very first cycle, I was going through a miscarriage. And I think that I was just so ramped and just like so high on that I'm gonna start IVF, this is gonna work, that I didn't even have time to process like my body was actually going through a miscarriage. I didn't even have time to think about that. But I think like if I hadn't been going through IVF and I just randomly found out that I was going through that probably would have sent me overboard, because I've been trying so long and nothing had worked. And finally when I started IVF, it worked, but I mean, it worked naturally, and then I have a miscarriage. So yeah, they kind of told me like, you know, because you know, you have to do blood work and stuff like that. So it was an early miscarriage. I didn't even know I was pregnant until they called and told me like, hey, we can't start right now. You know, your numbers are a little elevated. They're a little high. We have to see, you know, where it's gonna go. But the way she said it, I didn't even realize I was going through a miscarriage. I didn't know what it was, because she was like, your HCG numbers are high, HGC, something, however you say it. And she was like, those numbers are high. We have to see, you know, if it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down. So you have to repeat your blood test tomorrow. And I asked her like, well, what does that mean? You know, and she was like, oh, your body just probably trying to do, your body wants to do something. We just don't know if it's gonna do it. It's something like that. It was like something random. And I'm just like, really? But again, I was just kind of like not educated on it, so I didn't really know what. So, you know, all that to say, none of the cycles worked. I don't know if I ever got pregnant again in between cycles, because again, that was like an early miscarriage. If I hadn't gotten a blood test done with the IVF, I wouldn't have ever known that that was even, you know, a pregnancy that was lost, because it was very early on. Also, my very first cycle with IVF, I don't know if that was the only one that I actually got a positive pregnancy test after transfer. But like I did a 3-day transfer. I transferred like on a Monday. I tested, I think maybe that Friday, but I didn't test like afterwards, because you know, then you inject yourself with medicine that is going to give you a positive pregnancy test. You're injecting yourself with the hormone. So I don't know if it was that hadn't left my system, or if it actually was I don't know. So because I didn't test the, you know, the day of and then the day after, I didn't do that. So that Friday I did get a positive. That Saturday it was positive. That Sunday it was faint, but it was still there. And then Monday it was gone. And then after that it's gone. So it never came back. So it could have just been the medication, or it could be a chemical. I don't know. My beta was negative. I don't remember the number or anything like that, but it was negative. So yeah, I did that. I was completely over it. I'm like, I'm not paying any more money because I don't know what's going on. So I ended up going to see another doctor, just to try to see if he can give me anything. And it was like a local doctor. And he was just like, you know, I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't know, because I don't see anything that would cause, you know, you to be infertile. I don't know. So he's like, you know, we can do a laparoscopy. I can kind of take a look to see if there's something in there that, you know. And he was like, but I just want to warn you that it could be all for nothing. And I'm like, I don't care. And he was like, you know, it will cut you off. It's a surgery, you know. So I'm just like, it's fine. Like, I've been through all of this. It's been an emotional roller coaster, so it's fine. Like, let's just do it. So we went ahead and did that. I'm glad that I did do that, because they found out that I had severe endometriosis. He didn't give me like the stage, but he said it was just all over. Like, it was all over all of my organs. They did have to take it's not my spleen. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna, when I find it, I'm gonna put it down here, the word for it. But they removed that because he was like, you know, it can cause you problems. It's like, what is it? What's the word? Inflamed. It's really inflamed, you know, and if it was to, not burst, but I don't got any of the words today, but anyways, it could cause problems, life or death problems. So they went ahead and removed that. And then he was like, you know, one of your left ovary was like stuck to your uterine lining or your stomach lining, one of them. And he was like, you know, I removed that so you can get pregnant on your own. Like, you know, it's a possibility. We did try, didn't work. Did another transfer because I did have 3 frozen embryos left at that point. Didn't work. I was frustrated. I was irritated with the clinic because I felt like they didn't give me any answers. Like they kind of just did a transfer, didn't work, come back in, do another one, come back in. They didn't really sit down and talk a game plan or a change or anything like that. And I was just frustrated. I was really frustrated. I didn't speak up for myself. I just went with it, but I was really, really frustrated. One thing I can say though, the doctor, he was amazing. Like he prayed with us, like he showed us like when the embryo was that was the most, I can't even explain that feeling. Like just seeing that your baby is about to be put inside of you, like it was amazing. Like, I mean, that experience, although it did not work, it was just, I can't even explain it. And I probably would never go through that again. Well, yeah, I am gonna go through that again because I'm doing another cycle, but it's something that I can't explain that feeling. Like, I just cannot. If I figure out, I'm gonna insert a clip somewhere in here. If I can't figure out how to do that, then I'll do it at the end so you guys can see. But I don't know, it was just special to me. Like, it was very special. But yeah, I went through all of that. Nothing worked. I got discouraged. I got depressed. I went through a deep depression. Like, no one knows. I literally just told my sister about my depression. Like, I'm still struggling with it, but it's better now. But I'll do a separate video on that. But I mean, it was, I went through a lot. Like, I went through a lot. Almost lost my marriage because I wasn't talking to my husband about anything that I was going through. I just kind of shut myself out from the world. And you know, I don't even know how to still have a job. Like, honestly, like, it's crazy. But you know, I pushed through it, got through it. Like I said, I'm doing a lot better. And yeah, I was just like, I'm not doing nothing else. Like, I'm not gonna pay for anything. I'm not gonna, you know, because I still need something. I need a house to live in, you know, to bring a baby home. Like, you know, so I can't just put all of this money into this and nothing happened, you know, like, and I'm not getting any answers. I was over it. So my husband's job moved us back to Atlanta. So now we're back in Atlanta, and I like Philly better. I'm gonna say that, but I like Atlanta because my family is here. I'm close to my family. My sister, she's actually a nurse. She's back here for a little bit. She actually lives in New York, but she went back for a master's, so she's like down here doing like clinicals and stuff like that. I think she's gonna be here for a year, so she'll actually be here while we're going through the process of our retrieval and all of that. So she'll be able to help me like with the injections and stuff, because I think that was frustrating as well, because my husband and I did not know nothing. And I'm gonna spare y'all the video from that, because I did record it of him trying to give me the injections, but it was a hot mess. Like, we were all over the place, and people who've actually been through IVF, like, they're gonna cringe if they see that. So, but I'm just gonna tell you, it was ridiculous. So I'm glad that now I have her help, and I'm just happy that we're able to do that. I'm blessed that we're able to do this again, because my insurance is now covering the IVF at 100%. So, you know, we'll be able to do that, and, you know, just move on. So we have an appointment tomorrow, and I'll bring you guys along with that. I don't know how long or how much I'll be able to record, because I don't know like what the clinic restrictions is and stuff, especially with COVID. I don't know, but I'll be able to show you guys, you know, the journey and stuff like that. But again, I just wanted to share with you everything that we're going through, and hopefully help someone who's actually going through this at this time, because there's so many women that helped me and got me through it. I don't know where I would be without that, you know, that support. But yeah, again, we're gonna be starting our the beginning of it tomorrow, and then I'm gonna share every aspect of it with you all. I'm very hopeful, and I feel like this time it's going to work, you know, but if it doesn't, I am now at a place that I'm content with whatever answer God has for me, whether it's yes or no. It has taken me some years to get to that point, but I'm content with whatever. I am gonna try, I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna give up. And yeah, I'm just gonna bring you guys along the way, let you share the experience with us. Hopefully this will help someone, anyone. I have friends that does not have kids, that do not have kids, and I don't know if it's because they just don't want kids, or if they're going through what I'm going through, you know, because like none of my friends know. Well, 2 of my friends know, but other than that, like no one knows that I'm going through that. They're actually gonna find out when you guys find out. So yeah, just hopefully it helps. I'm gonna share everything that I've been through, all of my tests, everything, you know, the good, the bad, everything. So yeah, I'm just rambling now, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this. And you know, again, anyone that's like struggling, any woman that's going through, you know, things, like I'm praying for you, because I've been there. I know what it feels like, especially when that's all you want as a child and you're not getting it, and you've tried literally everything. But yeah, I'm praying for you, I'm here for you. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to share some of the channels that I've watched, some of the women who helped me. Like I'm in like Facebook groups and Instagram groups, everything. And when I say they are amazing, they are amazing. Like they really help you, you know, with any questions that you have. So yeah, just let me know. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know I am gonna do like more videos, vlogs hopefully. But yeah, there'll be a lot of sit down videos letting you guys know like updates on where we're at, what we're doing, where we're going. And hopefully be able to share with you our baby. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm wishing you guys peace and love, and I hope you have a great day. Bye guys.